This video was made possible by our generous supporters on Patreon. Welcome to our new patrons this week: Daniel Chaput, Thomas Allen, Melissa Alcaraz, and Luke Robertson. Visit our Patreon page and vote for next week's video. One of the most impressive shots directors like to use to show off is the long take, also called the Oner. The point is to do an entire scene in one shot, or at least make it seem like one. But what separates the good ones from the great ones is when a Oner is executed to serve the story, not in favor of just showing off.
For us, to live any other way was nuts.
I wish I could see myself through their eyes.
You were a movie star, remember?
There are quite a few we could examine that are pretty good examples of the former, but today we're going to take a look at Children of Men's famous Oner. There are quite a few long takes in Alfonso Cuaron's masterpiece, but this is the one that usually stands out the most. Because of very efficient directing, making every single frame count, this scene has reached long take immortality. Just as a reminder, Children of Men is about a dystopian future where women have become infertile, and Theo, played by Clive Owen, agrees to help transport a miraculously pregnant woman to a sanctuary. Camera movement and how actors interact in a given scene can capture a variety of beats within a single shot. In a long take, this is achieved by placing the frame on the subject, in this case, 5 people inside a moving car. The beats are what drive the story forward, and action takes place and the momentum shifts. The characters must then adapt to the changes in their surroundings. There are about 16 distinguishable beats in this scene alone, which we will explore in this analysis. The shot begins with a close-up on Theo, who is sleeping against the window. The camera backs away to a wide shot, revealing the other people in the car. This is a form of disclosure, revealing the full context of the scene to the audience. With the same framing, through dialogue it's revealed that Theo and Julian, played by Julianne Moore, were in a relationship at some point in the past, as well as him not knowing of the girl's importance and that he used to be an activist.
Oh, fuck off, you gotta be kidding.
The next beat serves to show Theo and Julian together. Cuaron moves to a medium close-up of them looking at each other. They are now the only 2 people in the frame, and they are purposefully isolated from everyone else. From this medium close-up alone, it seems that they're the only ones in the car, completely unaware of their surroundings. This framing and the kiss reveal that there are still feelings between them. The empathy towards them increases when Julian says she can't do the trick with anyone else, making it seem they may have had something special. The camera moves toward the girl as Theo spits the ball at her. It then quickly turns 180 degrees to the driver's perspective as a burning vehicle rolls from the woods into the street.
Look out!
The camera then does a full 360, first framing the driver and then everybody else in the car. What's noticeable here is that the shots are much tighter than before as the urgency of the situation increases. Casual talk goes with loose framing and an urgent scenario goes with a tight framing. The vehicle and the camera start going in reverse, conveying a literal turn of events. In this entire scene, the audience is placed in the point of view of the passengers of the car. Before the beat, they were focused on themselves and we were focused on them. Now, all of our attention shifts to the events happening outside the car. When the 360 is over, the camera stops to once again reveal the perspective of the driver, to reveal another contrast. Earlier, a car was burning in the distance, but now it's their car that's on fire. As the characters move from observing a burning car to being in one, the audience shifts from observing the action in the car to being in the middle of it. The camera then follows the attacking bikers, still from the perspective of the driver.
Christ, Jesus! Cover Kate!
When Julian gets shot, it's as if we're sitting right next to her and blood splatters onto the glass of the lens as if it were our own face. Right after the gunshot, the camera quickly turns to the reactions of the 3 people in the back seat, focusing on Theo as he tries to save Julian and then defend himself against the bikers. The camera then moves toward the driver and the cracking windshield to raise tension and suspense. The framing of the windshield gives us about 4 seconds to kind of catch our breath until the camera shifts back to Julian bleeding to death. Once again, they're together in the frame, But where they were together, facing each other, she's now facing away from him, dying until the nurse joins them in the shot. The camera shifts toward the driver and makes us think that Julian will die and that'll be the end of it. But almost immediately after, the camera gets in the windshield perspective again and we see cops passing by. The camera turns and the director slowly discloses information once more. We see everybody in the car and their reactions to the cops now following them, except for Julian, who we can now assume has died. As before, when the camera followed the bike, it now follows the police. This offers another strong contrast since the bikers were criminals and the cops are, well, cops. But they both serve the same purpose in the scene, which is they are a threat to them and their mission. The camera switches to Theo's point of view as the driver talks to the cops. We see the interaction through a closed window, as if we were sitting in the back seat. When the driver shoots the cops, the camera moves alongside Theo out of the car. At the very beginning of the scene, everyone is on the same page, joining to successfully achieve their mission. Now, the same mission takes them in a direction Theo didn't expect, one he doesn't approve of. The driver and Theo stand on opposite sides of the road, separated by a literal line and the car. The driver threatens Theo and forces him to get back in the car. They drive off, but the camera stays where Theo would have wanted to stay. Shooting a successful oner, or any scene that works for that matter, is all about being efficient. Cuarón's masterful directing, combined with Lubezki's stunning cinematography, create one of the greatest long takes of all time by using contrast, tight shots, and more. A filmmaker should always use all of the tools at his disposal, and if you're going to do a long take, go for it. But remember to always do it in service of the story. Remember that every second should count and no frame should be wasted. That's it for this video, guys. We hope you enjoyed it. What are your thoughts on Children of Men? Comment below to let us know, and a big shout out to our supporters on Patreon. If you like the content we're making, consider joining our Patreon family. You'll get many benefits such as being able to vote for next week's video, producer credits, exclusive downloads, and more. You can check out the link in the description box below. As always, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next Monday.